The countdown is done. So, welcome everybody to another episode of
PaintWater Soup.
The podcast of two Europeans trying to speak English about toy soldiers and paints.
As always, hosted by me, Peter, and the bear.
The bear. Yeah, thanks guys. So today's episode will be all about this and that and another plastic tube and acrylics and enamels and oil washes and oils and inks and metallics and panel liner and contrast paints, speed paints, transparent paints, paint paints.
A shitload of paints.
A shitload of paints.
Yeah.
Shitload of paints.
Yeah.
That's what we should call the episode, though.
Yeah. So before we even get anywhere, I mean, it's time for me to like we established last time. I think it's 2 weeks ago. I am the mayor of Dad Joke Town.
Yeah.
So without further ado. This is this week's this episode's dad joke. Are you ready to laugh out loud?
Wait, typing LOL. I'm ready.
What did Cobain say when he got close to his painting? Smells like white spirit.
Oh.
It's so bad it's good. That's kind of the deal. Yeah.
So in Germany, you have to have a dad joke license. So you have to literally be a dad. If you are telling bad jokes on a party and you don't have kids and you're not a certain age, like 30 plus, someone like me will come up and will ask for your dad joke license.
Oh yeah,
and if you don't have that. Yeah, it's typically German, you know?
Right across the face.
Yeah.
Where's your license?
Show me your papers.
Okay. So last time was kind of my episode. I had center stage with my story, both like how I got into the hobby and, of course, everything that got down with Butterfly for Hannah. I thought it was, of course, only fair that you got some attention as well. So this week would be more about the bear. So can you, before we get started, I just want one thing settled straight. Saying your name in English, do you say Björn or Bjorn?
I tend to say Björn because most people that are native English speakers can't say U.
Yeah.
Follow me. Say U.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's even different. It's even different in Swedish. Yeah, it's like
Björn.
Yeah. And if you want to say it, try to do like a metal growl, like the but do it without the pressure. So just say
Yeah.
So that is how I teach English speakers how to say
Okay.
Do the metal growl.
Okay, yeah, like metal heads. Yeah. That's easy. Okay, yeah. Okay,
that works.
Then we know. Just head us off. How did you get started in the hobby?
Yeah, I was born a little bear cub and found a brush in the woods.
Like Mowgli.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was singing, I was running around singing all the Disney hits and no, getting serious here. So in 2020, I fell really deep into the 3D printing hole. Rabbit hole, that is. And it kind of was, I was always a tech-savvy guy. I love tech. If it has a lamp on it that blinks red, I love it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it has two lamps, I love it even more. And going up the letter like this. So a coworker found a way to get some 3D printers from China pretty cheap. So I ordered one together with the guys at work. And yeah, there it was. And I knew nothing about it. I mean, I watched some YouTube videos, I read some stuff online, and it was not the Genius. It was the Sidewinder. It was called Sidewinder.
Was it like miniature related for you from the start, or did you? No, you did come into it like you wanted to fix stuff at home, or what was it that you started off 3D printing?
Yeah, there's this cool site called Thingiverse, and there's stuff for every occasion. So the first printer was an FDM, like there's stuff from the spool that gets blown through a hot end, and then it basically paints the shape. And this was really interesting, and I fell really deep into this rabbit hole because I started modding the shit out of this printer. I could maybe pull up a picture, but it was like not the same printer anymore.
kind of like my mic stand that we talked about earlier.
Oh, dude, your mic stand is...
It's an abomination. But yeah.
You should get a 3D printer.
Yeah, hopefully people hear me better this time. But yeah.
Yeah, this is... it is way better this time because the mic is in front of you. But I printed and I printed and I printed, and then I was like, all this bad leveling, and I need to put another mod in. I want to auto level it, and then it went fine. And I printed so much shit that I was like, I need a better and a second 3D printer. So I went in and got an Ender 3 V2, and that thing also got modded to oblivion.
I also like the mentality of it. Like, okay, so I print too much already. I have to get another printer.
Yeah,
it's kind of like with paints that we're going to talk with later. But yeah, I get the mentality. Yeah.
Holy shit! So I'm on my 8th printer right now. Woo! But I haven't kept them all. I haven't kept them all. So the Ender 3 was running fine, and it was modded to oblivion. And then I was like, no, I need a resin printer. Because in the meantime, I thought, hey, painting this shit would be really nice. I think I could really enjoy painting this because as a kid, I assembled and painted Revell planes. Like the Revell sets.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just put them together and then painted them poorly. I've looked at them.
I never painted, but I put 2 of them together with my dad when I was a little kid. Yeah.
It's fun stuff, definitely. Yeah. And some I also put together some car kits and stuff. But it was like just doing something in my spare time. Yeah, with this printer, with the second printer modded into oblivion, I decided to get a resin printer, and I started to watch a lot of Squidmar and Ninjon, and no, Ninjon wasn't there at the moment. Miniac and Goobertown and all the big YouTubers, because I just wanted to know how to paint this stuff. And the stuff printed this way from the spool, the FDM prints, they are a pain in the butt to paint because you have to seal them, you have to sand them, and then you can start to prime them and paint them, and the quality isn't that great. For technical parts, it's amazing, but for painting, it wasn't that good. So I got a resin printer that I haven't modded that much. But to get the...
what brand was the resin printer?
It was an Anycubic, the big Anycubic one, the Mono X.
Mono X, okay, yeah.
And I hated this machine so much. I hated it so much. And when I got the machine, I got on the Squidmar Discord, and shout outs to Mr. Zorg and Andy, who helped me get that abomination of machine running. I was not able to get it to work properly, and so I have to jump back. I sold the first FDM printer I had. I sold it because I needed the space, and because it was so heavily modded and I put so much work time in.
So it took up like a whole room, right? It was so heavily modded. It was like a small car.
Yeah, nearly. It was like 50 by 50 centimeters. It was huge.
I'm thinking like, do you remember the intro of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Donatello and like the coffee machine? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that machine.
Exactly. Yeah. And one came out 1 drop of coffee.
Yep.
Yeah, so I sold it off with a profit because I put so much time and effort into the machine. And then, okay, I have to shorten this. This would take a long time. But I sold the fucking Anycubic because it broke 4 times in 6 months, and I had to wait to get parts from China, and that always took 3 to 4 weeks. I sold, the machine was gone and I was happy. I got the LEU Saturn and it runs to this day. It's an amazing machine. And then the end I needed to go because I wanted better prints, and I got a Prusa, and then Prusa got an upgrade, so I sold the Prusa with a profit because I assembled it. And now there's the Prusa and the Saturn in my cabinet that I built with fire extinguisher and all that shit so I can print overnight. And in the middle is a small Mars 3, my favorite machine of all times, which is printing some Krieg right now because I want to upgrade my Arcturius box. I got that sponsored by Elegoo when I only had 194 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I don't know how this happened. I can pull out the email, and if they hadn't used my official contact form on my website, I would have been 100% sure it was spam because the English was so bad. It was so bad. But yeah, they basically pre-ordered the machine, and then they contacted me, and I said, yeah, really kind, but I pre-ordered the machine. So they canceled my payment, and I got my money back on PayPal. And then, wait, my computer is doing stupid stuff. And then they sent it to me, and it is an amazing machine. It is really, really, really well made. It has high print quality. I just switched down to 20 microns today, testing 20 micron prints. And basically from there, I started painting what I've 3D printed. But I was hanging around with you guys on the Squidmar Discord all day, and you guys mobbed me into painting Warhammer because 3D prints are stupid and you need to paint Warhammer if you want to be a real painter, you know?
Nah, I really don't believe you have to print Warhammer, but since we're on the topic, I mean, especially if you wanted to make content and have people watch, Warhammer is a big perk.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. All my videos containing Warhammer perform significantly better than the ones with no Warhammer.
It's kind of sad because, you know, some of the like the proudest work that I've done, at least, have been like not Warhammer, and it's not at all the same. But yeah. So a question, like, I paint. I just started like the content thing. You do 3D printing also, so you have like 3 hobbies. How do you time wise? What takes the most time? Where do you put it?
Painting and editing definitely takes the most time. The 3D prints took a lot of time when I started it, getting to know all this stuff, learning all this stuff, and now it's just basically I got all my machines running. I got all my resins tested. I know all my times. I got all my profiles. It's just like grab a file, put it on there, press print, and forget about it. But it took a lot of time to get there. And 3D printing is definitely a hobby within the hobby, or a hobby on its own.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I hear, and that's what I gather. I mean, I'm almost kind of afraid of it because it seems like it's such a time sink, and you really have to think that that stuff is fun in its own way. I mean, if I would do it, I would do it because I want to like add stuff to a diorama or something like that, just to add things. But then again, it seems like it's kind of hazardous and messy and a lot of. How do you handle that stuff?
So the messy part is true. So the printers are outside in an unheated extension of the building, and I built a small heat chamber for them to stay warm, and there's a fire extinguisher in there so I can let them print overnight. Like electronics producing heat is always a bad idea to keep them unsupervised. Yeah. So there is a camera, there's a fire sensor, a smoke sensor, and an extinguisher bomb. So this is just a big case made of glass, and there's a liquid in it, and when it gets too hot, this bursts and extinguishes all the flames. Really cool. It's made from a company that's basically in my neighborhood.
Wow. I'm more and more like thinking of you like Tony Stark's, like you like give you a couple of years and you will go into your 3D printing room and just put out your hands and it would like 3D print a whole suit around your body.
This could happen.
Yeah, and build me a suit.
Yes, I want. Actually, I need a Jarvis in my life, like with the glasses and stuff, scanners all around me, telling me, because it's not possible in Germany, or not that easy to get tested in Germany. But my coach told me I may have ADS.
Okay,
or ADHS, but I'm not that hyperactive. So, but one of the, you may notice sometimes that I'm stopping in the middle of the sentence, and that's not because I'm looking for words. This happens to me if I'm talking in German too. I'm stopping in the middle of the sentence to force me back into the focus of what I'm doing right now and not like get distracted. It's a bit annoying, but I can manage. So
I hadn't thought of it until you said it now. But yeah, being on that topic, I mean, I've always been a stutterer. So we've been like, two wonderful people starting a podcast that can't speak English and have speech impediments. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's really it must be a joy to listen, watch. Yeah, amazing. I hope not everyone is gone right now. Now, so yeah, from there on out, I got into Warhammer, got heavily into Warhammer, got into my Oryx. I love Oryx. I got a lot of Death Guards sitting around. I dipped my toes in Underworlds and now into Kill Team, and I enjoy everything of it immensely. But I have a lot of other stuff that I either print or I got some busts from Haegr, or busts are my guilty pleasure. I love busts. Amazing to paint. I got the loot subscriptions only for the busts because
nice. Yeah.
They make so. But to get back to your question, how I handle this is I've got a wash and cure station that washes off the resin from the miniature. You can get like silicone mats that you can put on the table and do everything on it. You need a lot of paper towels. But actually, 3D printing is not that scary anymore. If you have the process down, like it will stand there where if something spills, you can easily wipe it off. If you got the curing station and the washing station right next to it, that's not a big deal. You just take your print off. I got a flex plate at the moment right under the printer head, and I just take that off instead of taking out the whole plate. And then you can just pop it off into the cleaning solution like IPA, wash it off, and then remove every support in hot water, and then cure it. If you got the process down, it's not that scary. Also, you shouldn't be afraid of 3D printing, because if you get your models from subscription services like Loot or Archvillain or White Werewolf Tavern, one of my favorites, they come pre-supported. So all you do is you get your printer, you get your resin, you do 2 or 3 test prints for exposure to find the best exposure for the resin you have. And then you just put on your file, it's pre-supported, you don't need to do shit. You just put it in the slicer, upload it to your printer, and boom, it's done. So easy.
Sounds very easy when you say it.
Yeah. It was a hassle it is a real hassle if you don't have pre-supported files, because supporting files is a pain in the butt. I have to say that.
My concern has always been like like space, of course, but also like I don't have a safe space away from my kid, so he could like get in there, and I don't really want him messing around with resin.
Nope, you don't want that.
Yeah. Okay, but what would you say? You said you painted busts, like you wanted.
Yeah.
But so how often, when you paint like Warhammer and like game stuff, do you tend to go like the quick route just to get them on the table, or do you like go quick on troops and spend more time on heroes, or what? What's your process like there?
Oh, it's totally different. Just now I painted terrain, and this will be one of my next videos, how to overdo your terrain like a maniac. Because I really overdid the terrain from the Octarius box. I put so much time in it. And then when I look over at my cabinet, I hate painting just tabletop ready. I always say I paint, even for troops, I paint tabletop ready plus. So yeah,
do you have anything? Do you have an army that's ready?
Yeah, I got 2,000 points of Iron Jaws, nice. And I got like 1,000 points of Crew Boys, and I got at least 1,500 points, or not even 2,000 points of Crew Boys still waiting. And there's
not everybody can say that, man. You have a lot. No. You have a lot of gray plastic, I know, but that's something. You have an army. That's more than most people can say.
So if I look into my app real quick, I got 67 finished Crew Boys. 41 finished Iron Jaws, and there's a lot of stuff that is already primed and assembled. So basically all my Oryx are at least assembled and primed. So
nice.
Even now I could put them on the table, and if I put everything on the table, I think I would go to 4K. I think could be 4K. I never looked at that so closely.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically it. So, but my painting process for everything is either I go full ham, I just do everything I can, painting wise, every technique I know to achieve what I really want, to make it look good. And even if I do troops, I will always do base coats. I tend to use oil washes now in different colors because you can do the redness on the elbows, even for an orc. You can do this with an oil wash, really nice. Get color variations in, and when this is pretty fast. So doing base coats and then an oil wash, and then I go in and I paint details. I can't leave a model without painted details. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like eyes and teeth and.
Do you switch it up? I mean, do you have like you described a process that you have right now, but I tend to like I think I get easily bored, so I go to like phases, like using oils, using acrylics, using it goes up and down. How do you how often do you like change it up?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I have a pack of crew boys that are all using different techniques of washes. I made a video about that, and sometimes I do the contrast paint and then wash or oil wash, or I do normal paints and no wash and build up my layers. Sometimes I do layering, sometimes I do wet blending, or sometimes I try to use NMM. Sometimes I use pre-shading or post-shading with the airbrush, transparent paints, or I go in with a panel liner. I try to be going with the flow. I just pick up the Mini, and what's speaking to me right now? Oh, I have the mighty need to use my camera paints and do it like the pros do it, like like really going in there 40-hour paint job, or even more.
Sometimes I think like that like we're actually hurting ourselves in that way. Like we've been introduced to so many different like ways of doing it, and we want to try them all, and we have this the attention span of like the Z and X and Y. Yeah, you know what I mean. But the masters, they've like stuck to their thing, and they're great at it because they've mastered it. So it's going to take us a long time to get there if we change it up. But I just can't help it. It's just so fun trying out new stuff.
Yeah, I definitely say fun over outcome.
Yeah.
I needed to learn that comparing myself to someone that is doing this as his real job and doing competitions and doing it for 15 years, it's not worth it. It just ruins my fun. I don't want to do it. So I basically just do what I enjoy, and I own the holy trinity of washes, for example, like non-oil, Raglan Flash Shade, and Agrix Earth Shade. Yep. You need to have those if you want to be a proper painter.
It's the only washes that I use. I never use washes besides those. Yeah.
Oh, I use a shitload of washes.
Okay, so besides painting in the hobby, I mean, who is Björn? What do you do in the meantime, and family and stuff?
Oh, I've got a wonderful wife. I've got a wonderful daughter of 14 years. She's 14 years old, and this is amazing about teenagers. They know everything.
Just to get in there. I mean, she's 14. How old were you when you got her? You must have been like not that old.
24.
24. Yeah, it's a young parent.
Yeah, young parents. So when the kid is out of the house, we still have time for ourselves. And well, I'm so I don't drink any alcohol anymore. That is bad for my mental health. I'm trying to be an advocate for mental health. I work in a company called AAAALLL. We do potential analysis and do a lot of trainings. And I am the, how could I put it, the event manager and the guide for the trainers. So if the trainers have questions about the program and stuff, they ask me. I also do all the recordings and media stuff there. So I know every cord and every camera in the studio and do all the live cutting and all the lights and music and whatnot.
So I also by a lot of those red blinking lights that you love so much.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. So then I got 2 dogs. One is a husky Labrador mix, and we got a rescue that is every dog on the planet mixed together. She's from a Croatian killing station, and we're happy we could rescue her. And then what else? I'm a loudmouth, and I drive an obnoxiously loud Harley Davidson, and I enjoy sport shooting. So that's basically me. Yeah.
Cool. I learned something new there as well. I didn't know about the Harley.
I'm a Harley guy, my man. I'm a Harley guy. I have an 2000 speech impairment, you know.
Yep.
I have a 2007 Dyna with a big ape hanger and not quite legal exhaust. So, and yeah, it's a 1,600 cubic. I don't know how to say it in English.
I'm seeing loads of memes of you coming out right now with like Sons of Anarchy vibes. Just saying, yeah.
Bears of Anarchy.
yeah. There we have it.
Yeah, Lavedo, there's a job for you. Yeah, I enjoy cooking and grilling and smoking and basically caring for people. If I have guests over, my wife constantly needs to put me on my seat and tell me to shut the fuck up and stop serving people because they already are close to puking because they ate so much. That's nice. Basically me. So, and I learned something too, and that is that you are the better interviewer of us because all those nice questions I haven't asked you.
No worries. I mean, I was really curious. I mean, I really didn't prepare that much. I just took it as it went, and I think it was fairly interesting answers, I would say. So
thank you.
Yeah.
But I added it.
Should we go on with onto the next phase?
Oh, most definitely. And I edited the notes for PaintWater Soup number 3 because I want to get to know Peter, and I think everyone out there wants that too. So I will be asking you questions. Tuned. Stay tuned. You got another dad joke, by the way? If you said you were.
I have a list of dad jokes ready, so we can do this for at least like 20 more episodes. Then we'll see.
But do you have one now? Because you said you were unprepared.
We one dad joke for each episode, I think. Don't you think that's right?
More dad jokes could actually kill people.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, should we go on to what we painted? What we did?
Yeah, we should definitely. We should definitely. You want to start?
I can start. Okay, since the last episode, I did a little bit of painting, but mostly I started. I posted my first YouTube video.
Woo!
And painted up a little guy on a cork tower. So I don't remember if you saw this or listened to this episode of Trapped Under Plastic, but they made fun of people like building those ridiculous bases with like it's going up. and I kind of took it like, oh, okay, yeah. I have a tendency to put a lot of things on my bases. I really love basing. I think that's one of the Squidmar things that I stuck to first. Like, okay, so I'm not that good at painting at first, so what can I do to make it stand out? And basing was just like one of those things. And so when they told me that, I was like, okay, I have to make a cork tower. And I made sure that it was like stairs going upwards. And he was standing on my... He was like primed and waiting, and he's been that way for a long time, really. And I have had people like ask me for like when are you gonna paint him? And when I decided to make my first episode, I took a look at that guy, and okay, it would be fun to try something out, and I went the oversell route. I think it turned out pretty nice. I'm happy with the result, and most of
it was amazing.
It was very fun editing and learning that side of my new hobby, I would say. It took took some time, but yeah, mostly I had you helping me out before getting me prepared, so when I had the gear I could just dive in. You also gave me you said to me like you could start painting right now, you could record beforehand, and I did that. Yeah. So when I got the computer, I had all the footage. I could just start editing, and that was really nice, because if I hadn't done that, I think would be kind of like I have to paint before I can use it. Besides the guy for the video, I still hammering out some dudes for Marvel Crisis Protocol commission.
Yeah,
I think I have some around here. Most recently, I did one of these guys. The client wants like a heavy oversell theme.
Yeah.
So
that looked nice, dude.
Yeah. It's hard picking up the right light. It's very dark on the camera, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm doing right now, and I also got a commission for some new Eldar, so I'm going to go in with this one soon. Really nice mini, I think.
The new sculpts are amazing.
Yeah, it's so detailed. So this mini is just screaming for like good NMM and cool stuff. So I'm gonna pour some soul into this one.
They are so cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to, and I've painted a bust for my next video that I think it will be released this week if all goes as planned.
But I love busts. Busts are the best part. I have a mini I want to spontaneously add to the Witness This Mini section later on. That was posted on our Discord. And I think the guy deserves some love, and
I think we might have picked the same one actually, but yeah, we'll see.
So this will be interesting. So does the guy whose mini you picked start with a B?
No.
Then we pick different stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so that was all that you painted?
Yes, it was, yes.
Okay, what did I do? I built a whole... So I finished my 22 by 30 kill team board with all the flocking and sealing and jiggly whatnot, putting tufts and stones and whatnot left and right, and then I decided it was a good idea to put it up on a shelf, and then it decided it was a good idea to drop out of the shelf.
Oh,
and I found it face down outside in this extension area. And I was like, "Yep, fuck, that is ruined." And I picked it up, and it was like mint condition. I've sealed. I've put so much sealer on there that I don't know, 2 or 3 smaller stones fell off, but nothing else. I was so happy as well. Okay,
nice.
this will take some gaming sessions with ease. And yeah, and then I finally finished all of my Octarius terrain, and this stuff has. I made a list what I've done to all this.
Nice.
It has so many different base coats and dry brushes and oil washes and rust and enamel and some OSL for the lamps, and I did a million things to it.
It looks
3
really
rounds
nice,
of dry brushing. Thank you, mate. 3 rounds of dry brushing and a lot of different washes and taking them back off, and it was so much fun. I went 3 nights straight. I went to town on these things, and they are so cool effects in the metal. I will need to take some close-up pictures because it looks so amazing, and I've learned so much about dry brushing and using oil washes, mixing them together and blending them and stuff. It was an amazing experience. I had so much fun. Yeah, that's what I have painted, and I continued to paint the miniature for someone from the Squidmore Discord on stream, and it kind of came out of the ugly phase. It's starting to take shape, and I'm pretty thankful for that, because the ugly face is a bad stage for a miniature.
It is, yes.
And
They
you have
all
to
have
push
it, though.
through. Yeah, they all have it. They all have it. Oh, and the best thing that happened to me while making the last video was actually, while in the process of making the video, I was still quite not sure about non-metallic metal. That's still a thing I can't do that well. And on the last model I did that, I was just trying to follow along the guide from Chimera.
Yeah.
And then Ninjon comes out of nowhere and makes his non-metallic metal video. And it was like, yeah, I get this, still looks shit, what are you doing, bloody, bloody, blah. And then he comes in and does the counter reflection and describes exactly the counter reflection and what it does and where to place it and in what color. And with the first brush stroke, the part where he did it, instantly transformed in front of my eyes into a metal looking shape.
Yeah.
Material thingy. And I was like, damn, now I get it. I don't know if I can do it, but now at least I understand it.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Something that was so mysterious to me to finally get my head around it. Yeah, that's what I've done for the channel and for everything else, for the stream. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Okay, so I think is it time for the subject now? For
It is time for the main topic.
the main topic. A whole lot of paints, rainbow of colors, really. We should start with acrylics, and should you start with describing what you have, or maybe I should, because you have everything.
I have everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
suggest. I made a line here of all the nice products,
Yep.
and I will just grab them one by one, and then you can tell me if you have them, and if you have them, you tell me what
Okay.
you think about them. Or if you don't have them, if you want to try them, and then maybe I'll add something to this. Would that be cool for you?
That'd be cool. I have an idea. I just sprouted an idea too. But yeah,
Yeah.
you do that, and then we'll do my thing. Yeah.
Okay. So first, scale artist.
If you. No, I don't have it. I want it so bad. I really want to try it, but that's one thing that's on the bucket list. It's the thing with paints, you know. It's so many paints, and every time I look at it, it's I can't really. It's like Emil says, Squidmore, like you don't need that much paint, and he's
Nope.
so right. I can paint everything that I want with the paints that I have. The only thing with scale artist colors is that they are another consistency. So I really want to try it out, especially since I dabbled with oils and think it's like wet blending for dummies. So and with that heavier consistency, maybe wet blending would be easier with artist colors. Then again, I don't know. Looking at Marco Frisoni, he always uses them like the last step, like putting the dots over the eyes. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get him, but I don't have him right now. No.
Scale artist colors. I haven't decided actually if I like them more than Camera or not. Camera is amazingly good, but I still manage to move around a layer of drying paint and then get some kind of structure, some kind of it doesn't happen to me with any other paint. It only happens to me with Camera, and I may need to give it more time to dry, but it happens. Scale artist colors are not that way. The finish is amazing, and what really surprises me, so normally even if you look at Camera, different colors have different consistencies. Not for scale artist. They all have the same consistency, and this is mind-blowing, and it is so easy to work with, and I really love them. They are so enjoyable, and I got a whole bunch of the range, and I can recommend them. But if you start painting and you use scale artists, you will hate them. You will hate them. You need to learn how paints, especially acrylics, work, and then you need to work at least some time with them to fully understand them. They are a bit on the, like Camera, a bit on the more learning extensive side.
Yeah. So for somebody who is looking at them at the moment, what sets would you pick up?
The full box of 48.
That's the right answer, right? Yeah.
Now it depends on what you. If you want a set to really start out with them, I would either suggest the skin tone set.
Yep.
Because it's a real joy to paint skin tones. Or if you want to go into mixing and doing
that's
trying them
thinking.
like
I'm thinking I'm going with the primaries, like the blue set,
the basic set,
the red set. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The full sets of each color. So
okay,
red, yellow, blue, and maybe skin color. Yeah, that's what I've been looking at. But yeah,
also
they all seem so nice. I mean the one that you sent to the raffle winner for butterfly. What was it like?
Dreamy.
Yeah, it's like
dreamy
pastel
tones
colors.
Yeah,
it looks so nice. And it really
So he
fits
wanted
his
another
way of
set
painting, yeah.
than that the set I had here. So
Yeah.
I would go for that. But let me grab the original set. So it was
There's those shorts.
yeah, and it was cheaper for me to. I always wear shorts.
Yeah.
I live in a house with two girls.
I also like last episode. I don't know, but it was like I made the mistake of wearing like jeans. Now I'm comfortable. Now I'm comfortable, man. I'm wearing like a hoodie
it
and
was
I'm wearing
sweaty bum crack time, eh?
sweatpants. Yeah.
Also, going with the basic colors. So the guy who won this set, it was cheaper for me because he was over in UK to order a set for him there, and I did, and he asked really politely, really amazing guy, if he could get another set instead of this one. I was, of course, it doesn't matter. It's the same price. Choose whatever you want. And then he got the set, and he was really happy with it, and he was trying, I think, 2D painting first with it. Doesn't matter. But if you want to get into scale artist, holding him up to the camera, the basic set, like with all the basic colors, white, black, blue, yellow, red, and a burnt sienna. This is also amazing if you tend to mix your own colors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just a quick shout out for the guy that got the kit that you sent. His name is Jamie. On Instagram, he's a man painting miniatures, I believe. And he has this really artsy style. He's really really nice.
Yeah.
So
check him out. He's really talented.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Next paint.
Next paint. Yeah. Should I do a paint or should you? Now you do your thing.
No. Jump right in. Go ahead.
But you had a plan, right? So you.
I have a plan.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a plan, but I think you will hate me with the next color.
I think so too. Okay. Yeah. Hit me with it. Yeah. Fudge.
Pro-Acryl and Pro-Acryl Transparents.
Yes.
And please don't ask me if I own all of them.
You do. I know. I don't have to ask.
Sorry. Hands down, Pro-Acryl is going through the whole range and comparing like whole ranges of colors to others. Like there's always this one shit color in every range and stuff. But comparing all ranges together, most bang for the buck and most ease of use, Pro-Acryl is straight away my favorite color. If I would have to throw away everything else and could only use one paint range for the rest of my life, I would go with Pro-Acryl.
People say that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, they managed to make a transparent white color. Transparent white.
Yeah. Glazing with white, yeah. That's something. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, of course I have to I have to try those as well, of course, but back again, I mean, being somebody you don't want like one set, you want it all, right? That's kind of the way it works. But of course you could start with okay, so the same question there. What would you start out with Pro-Acryl? What did they have like a set where you could pick 8 colors, or am I remembering that incorrectly?
They have the base set, and then they have 4 expansions now. And I would suggest going with the basic set because, again, if you can mix colors, you would have everything you need in there. If you want something cool to add to your ranges, go with a transparent set because the transparent set for glazing is mind-blowingly good. if you just want to buy one thing from the whole range, either buy the white. I have never had a white that covered so well. Or buy the metallic medium, because you take the metallic medium and you add any color or ink or whatnot to that metallic medium, and you got your own special metal color.
Yeah, cool.
Really cool.
Okay, yeah.
Next one.
Yeah, next one, yeah.
And I know you love them. And I think you got them all.
Yes, I do.
It's Camera.
Yes. Here we go.
Hit me.
Yeah, for me, I was I was standing at the crossroads really when I decided to get Camera. At that point it was like, do I go Pro Acryl or do I try Camera? And I really fell for like the promise of like pure pigments. Yeah, and also wanting to go into like more mixing and learning that side of it.
Yeah.
Like almost more like a challenge to myself. Like, can I do this? Starting out with the base set, I mean, it begs for you to mix. It's
Definitely.
all that it's about. And I remember painting my first mini with Camera and was blown away with the saturation of those magentas. It was wow! It was amazing. It was like,
yeah.
I had painted some of it, and then I just added. I painted a cloak in the magenta color, and it was like boom.
Yeah.
And then I understood the power of Chimera paints. But then, like you said before, it was hard to learn the goings of it, and of course that each and every paint is different, like with the consistency, and especially now that you add the newer sets that you have like colors that are more transparent than others, some that are very heavy, some that are very light, and it goes together with the pigment side of it really. It's just science. Like they because they are pure pigment, the pigments themselves do certain things. They can't just, because if you have like a covering yellow, like a really good covering yellow, there is something else in there.
Definitely.
It's the same with greens. Greens are generally also like kind of translucent, and you see that all the time with other paints. But yeah, I really love them. But
me too.
Then again, I haven't been able to test them all. I mean, it's a lot of paints right now, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So there's only one thing I would ask the guys from Pegaso to make, because they made this awesome chart. Can hold it up here. It's this awesome inlay with all the colors mixed.
I have it on my wall also.
I have it always at hand. It's amazing. And for the expansion set 1, they also made this really nice booklet with all the colors and special pages for each color, for reds and blues and greens and
sorry, mate.
bless you mate, making gold and purple and whatnot. And this is so helpful. The only thing I would wish for is that they would take this chart here that they made for the base set and expand that together, mixed together with the expansion set. That would be amazing. They don't need to put in the two special lines they made for the special painter ones. They wouldn't need it for that because they are
Pasarski and
the Danilo,
Cavilo, right? Danilo Kartashi, something like that.
Yeah, those are just premixed tones they use a lot, so they wouldn't need to put them in, but maybe they could show the ratio of them or something like this. Yeah. So if you want to add something to make it darker or lighter, to know which color they used for that would be really helpful. But I haven't looked for that. Maybe they say it on the website or something. Okay, so the next paint I have on my list is I only own a few of them, and I'm not the greatest fan, and that's AK Interactive.
I haven't tried those either, but I hear people raging about them. I think I think I started seeing it for like maybe, could it be like half a year ago or something like that? People starting to use him in all of YouTube videos, and so I don't really. I think must that maybe the time that they released like their third gen.
Could be. I have second gen, I have third gen, and they behave quite nicely, but I have no other paint that starts breaking down on my wet palette as soon as I put it there. It just separates. I have a brush at hand when I work with them because they have some really nice colors. The intensive set is really nice because the colors are really vibrant and really punchy. But you put them down and 20 minutes later you see the first separations in the paint, and they're not binding that well. And that annoys the shit out of me.
Okay.
But for me, this is a range I could go without. I got like 2 sets or something to try them and to expand my range, and no. I like them. They're okay, but I could go without.
Yeah.
I will put the next 3 together, and I think you have a whole nother range of that, and that's all scale colors.
Yes.
One is fantasy and games, one is instant colors, and one is Warfront. I had the Warfront ones in my basing sets. I haven't tried them. The fantasy and games are really nice, really good to use, and I know a lot of people don't like the instant colors, but if you do army painting with oil washes, I prefer them to contrast paints because they are not that dark. You get much more lighter areas and can tone it down with the oil washes and get a much larger range from dark to bright with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scale color. As I mentioned last week, there was my after Citadel Paints, I went into scale color or scale 75, and I picked up the fantasy and games set, thinking that it would be like high matte. Made my first big mistake there, but all in all, I think it was for the best. I got a whole lot of paints, and I got to experiment a lot with different colors, and the set was also in the way that it layered very well. So it was good for a beginner. Then I tried the NMM set and the red set from scale 75, the main line, the scale color set, and that was like, oh my god, this is so matte. But then again, I made my first NMM with that. I painted up my Ogre Tyrant. I think I put like 3 or 4 nights like painting one spear. And I painted it over and over and over and over again. But to this day, every time I put it on the table, I'm so damn proud of that NMM. It really shows. And that set was really nice. I learned a lot from it. And and as you say with the instant colors, I have the exact same experience with it. I do like using contrast paints also, but it's just different. I mean, they're so light on the pigments or intensity, really.
Yeah.
So you could really do like subtle changes, and I do this a lot when I like paint. If you go like with the Nurgle, that's the set I have. I have the Plague set from Instant Colors. You could just put them on top of each other and get this like. You could just go green, and you could just go purple in some areas, and like magenta in some others, and you have these variations. And if you also then put like oil washes on top of that, you have those deep shadows, and it mixes all so well. So for like organics and together with oils, Instant Colors is perfect.
Amazing. You can thin down contrast paints to get some of these effects, but it doesn't work quite as well as the instant paints. So the normal scale colors, as you said, I haven't used them. I have not a single bottle of them. I only have some, like 3 or 4 from those war paints, some instant colors, and some fantasy and games. But I still want to try the normal scale colors, like the dropper bottles.
You should buy the NMM set if you want to try it. I think I go back to it all the time. It has the perfect like steel midtones, I think.
Perfect.
So I use it a lot when painting NMM.
This will get onto my list. So
yes, you will buy something. It's not only me that has to buy all the paints.
Yeah, I will need to buy. We need to buy those paints. Damn it! So I'm toning down a bit from the specialties, and I will go to the paints that I first started with, and I can combine some of them because I started with the good old Vallejo paints. Because I saw Emil use them, and they are really trustworthy paints. They all perform pretty solidly. I have paints that were sitting around a year, and my Vortex mixer brought them back to life easily. They are a really solid, easy to use starter option.
Yeah.
And even as a pro, they work amazingly good.
Yeah. I think like if I were to start over, I think I would like if somebody came to me now and said like, what should I get? I think I would hint them towards Vallejo. Really, it's easy to work with, and there's like infinite amount of paints if you want every color is out there. Really. And they have they have a few tones that is kind of a must, really.
Did anybody say pale sand?
I don't have pale sand.
You don't have I don't have pale sand either, but everyone is raging about pale sand and sunny skin tone. Those are the two colors I hear everyone using.
Okay, ice blue also.
Oh, ice blue, ice blue, pale sand, and sunny skin tone.
Sorry, it's let's grab it. It's glacier blue. Glacier blue.
Yeah.
And ice yellow.
Yeah.
So those two and Sunny Skin Tone, perfect highlight colors. I mean, that last highlight works every time.
Yeah, and doing an off-white instead of a white is really, it's really a smart idea. You rarely use real white for the highest highlight, but yeah, you get the game colors, which is more targeted to the gaming community, like playing Warhammer or whatever, and you get the model color that is a second line, but testing them, I think they only are different in the colors, not in the medium.
So too.
So, and then you get the air line, which is really, really nice if you just want to grab paint, don't thin it down, just put it into your airbrush and go. I really enjoy the air colors. They are really solid through the airbrush. And then you get some, I marked them like with F and E. You get the fluorescent paints that are really amazing. I often mix those into the colors that I will use for OSL. If I will spray down something for OSL with the airbrush and paint some stuff in later, I tend to mix in my fluorescent colors because that gives the OSL a really nice punch. Small little trick from me here. Also, there's the effect colors for rust and verdigris and blood and vomit and stuff. This is a paint range where you could get everything. I mean, they're on the market like for a million years now. You can get everything.
Yeah, and for us being in Europe, also, it's not that hard to get. I mean, it's been hard to get like Pro Acryl for me at least, but now it's easier. But Vallejo, I think like in the States, it's not as easy as it is for us. It's the same with Camera for them. They're okay. It's always out of stock. It's been like that for a long time. But on top of that, it's being like in Europe, they have a really hard time getting a hold of it.
Well, it's the same for Pro Acryl sometimes here. So
yeah, it is.
So, do you own any Games Workshop colors besides the contrast colors?
Yes, I do.
So that is something I do not own. I only own the contrast colors, and we talked about them, like comparing them to the instant colors. Really nice to work with if you thin them down. But tell me about the standard Games Workshop colors. I don't use them. I never got into them because I hate the stupid pots.
Yeah, I really hate the stupid pots too. Let's start off with that. And I'm never going to put the time in to put them in dropper bottles. I don't feel that's not on my schedule really. The thing is, I started with the Citadel colors, and basically, like I told my story last time, when we started painting, we got a lot of colors with the painted armies that we bought. So like when I started painting now, I had like this big box of old colors that were like 10 years old, and some of them were still working. So I started up with that. And then when I thought it was funny, I went down and I bought like a start kit. And the thing with Citadel is it's easy to use, but the real selling point is that they come in threes. Like you do have a base, you have a layer, you have a highlight. Like it's very obvious where in which direction you should go when you're painting something. And I do still go back to them for like when I paint, like if I paint a commission and there's a lot of skulls, they have like a very basic skull triad, so you can just base layer highlight and the skulls look great. So why not when I have it on the shelf? So I think it's that, and it's also the Caucasian skin tones. They have. I think it's basically the same one that Emil uses. Also, he tends to go like, I think he goes Vallejo in the last step. But it's a good solid skin tone set. I mean, but it's nothing. It's nothing really. You don't have to have them, but I have looked at, you know, getting rid of them. But then again, I always end up at like, "Oh, it's good to have that like skull, and it's good to have that Caucasian, and because when you reach for it, you realize that, okay, I do use it sometimes, so and why get rid of it? It's not like it's not any big money really. I already have it, so.
But if you don't have them,
Yeah.
Could you live without them?
Yeah, I could. I mean, if I could like pick now, I think I couldn't get rid of my camera paints. I use
True.
them like every time. And besides that, I mean, I do have a couple of like favorite that I always grab in every line. But I think it's Chimera. It's the center stage, and I'm guessing I would go like Pro Acryl. Just looking what people say about it, and that's not even, I haven't even tried it myself, but it looks. I mean, the results people are getting with it, and both experienced and beginners, and people are raging about them. So yeah, I think that would be a great choice if you could start over.
So since we're on the topic for Citadel or Games Workshop colors, we just talked about this one, like the holy trinity of washes, and it's Haegr's Earthshade, Reluctant Flesh Shade, and Neon Oil. Those ones were actually pretty easy to transfer to dropper bottles, and that was really worth it. And I got all the, not all, but there's this set of 8 washes from Vallejo, and I used them before, but as you can see, this bottle is basically untouched. If you go for Vallejo, go for the holy trinity of Games Workshop washes. They are really good.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, the thing before I got like into it, I heard people rage about the washes, and what people were doing was like with the army painter stuff, they were like dunking it in washes, boom, and like it's done, and that sounded amazing, but that isn't the truth. I mean, I rarely use washes in like dabbing it all over. I usually go in like with a pin wash or something more controlled if I use a wash. If it isn't like a base or something that I want to mess up or something like that. Yeah.
I love washes for bases, and a thing I always use washes for, even if I go like really full on painter mode, is chainmail.
Oh yeah.
Because who wants to go in there and paint that stuff dark? No, you don't want it. And you can. What is nice about washes, if you put on one layer of wash and let it dry so the recesses are darkened, you wait a second and you wipe off a bit of the wash from the upper parts, so the metal color is not that stained. You get real nice deep recesses, real dark ones, and you have this still this nice metal effect. And then you can take the wash and use this to paint over the recesses that are in the fabric itself, not like from the chains that are hooked into each other, but if there's waveforms on the fabric itself, you can really easily dull down those things that are more in the shadows and still keep the metal color, which is really a good use for a wash. And it's basically you use it like a glaze.
Yes. I depending on what, but if I use a wash, it's mostly painting like tabletop. If I would do more like diorama or spending more time on it, I would go enamel, just to be able to take it away if I wanted to, just to have that kind of control. But it is a little bit more step just to bring those out.
A paint range I try to avoid like hell is Army Painter, because I heard nothing good about. Sorry, I bet there are people out there that love Army Painter and use a lot of Army Painter, but I haven't.
I know it's like only Brent from Gooby Town. He likes Army Painter, right?
I don't know. I
think he's a Army Painter dude.
I will not get the speed paints because I heard horrible things about them getting reactivated when you paint over them.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't want. I don't want it. But there is a set from Army Painter that I use, and that is the Quick Shade set. But only 4: light tone, dark tone, strong tone, and whatever tone. For like one reason,
their wash Trinity or something. Yeah,
it's 4: light tone, strong tone, dark tone, and another one. And I use them not as a wash. Let's say I've painted a small skull on a belt or on a armor plate or whatever, and I got in some highlights and all is looking very nice, but I want to darken down like the space under the eyes. And I would have to mix up a color for that. I tend to grab one of those tones depending on how dark I want it, and it adds over a little filter and darkens the color down that is underneath this filter. This works really well, and it doesn't obscure the true tone of the color, but it dulls it down, it darkens it down, and this is real fun to play with. And I actually learned this in a coaching with Emil, who told me this trick. I don't think I've seen him use it in a video, but yeah, I got this from him, and it works amazingly well.
I think didn't he? And I think they made a video about the speed paints, and they thought it was kind of good, right? Yeah,
a lot of people who tested them liked them, but I've also heard
they were really cheap, a really cheap alternative to the contrast paint.
Definitely. But I don't know. I don't want paint that's unreliable, and that is. I may be wrong. Maybe I should test it. Maybe I shouldn't take all the.
You have enough paints, so if you don't feel like you have to, no.
I mean, it's the paint range I hear the most shit about. It's definitely like that, so I don't want to test it.
Do you have more paint ranges left in your corner?
2.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
But that's only for acrylics.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. So no, not that much. Another thing I want to add to Vallejo. I don't like the metal colors from Vallejo that much, but the big airbrush pots from Vallejo.
Yes.
The thin metal colors. You need to get used to them because they're so thin and they would run everywhere in your model if you don't use them correctly, but they are amazing. They are really amazing.
It's the best metal colors, I think, at least.
Definitely. I have I don't know, 2 or 3 brands of inks. I don't know if we want to talk about inks, but I mostly use inks for getting more vibrancy into my colors. So I sometimes use them to thin down my colors and get more vibrancy into it. And I use them as a filter, spraying them over with an airbrush, or sometimes use them for glazing.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Last one. Let's play a game. Can you guess it?
Okay, last one. And it's acrylics.
It's acrylics.
What could it be? I feel like we've been through almost everything.
Okay, I will give you 2 hints. They are really transparent,
Okay.
and Marco is a big fan of them.
Okay. I think we might have the same. Is it golden?
Yes,
Yes.
it is golden.
Yeah.
Um,
They're nice. They're nice. They're so nice.
I enjoy them. Perfect for glazes, perfect for filters, tonal variation, super nice to play around. Yeah, I only got the transparent range, like the 10 paints.
Yeah, I think you see it right. It's over there.
Yeah.
I have the same high flow. It's I really like it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned a fluorescent like tip before. I made a really, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a model that's called Morven Val for the Sisters of Battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I painted it up for a commission. I don't know, it was a half a year ago maybe. And her insignia, like she has an Inquisitor signa at her front,
Like a badge.
yeah, and I painted that up, being like glowing green, and it turned out so nice. What I did was I painted it like ivory first, and I sprayed it with golden, this phthalo green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I filled it in again, like smaller, with like a heavy body acrylic white, and on top of that I went in with a fluorescent like lime green, and it pops so freaking nice. And on top of that, she had like a red cloak, so red green.
Nice.
It turned out amazing. Yeah.
Nice. So I am done with all of my acrylic stuff. What about you? You got any more acrylics?
I really hope that you hadn't pulled out the golden, because I thought that was like something I did have that you didn't have. Let me check. I do have like the scale 75 metal colors as well. I got the gold and the bronze set for those. It's nice having like 4 different golds, like Dwarven gold, Elven gold, like, and that's the only thing that I really don't like about the metal colors from Vallejo. I feel like their aluminium, their steel, and everything like that is perfect. I think their gold is too green. I don't really like that one. And their bronze color is it's just good to have like variations. Like you have like 7 different bronze colors. I think that's it for me with acrylics as well.
I also really enjoy
you win that round.
Sorry. I went a bit overboard with paints. But I also have another thing, acrylics wise, that is mixing my own metal colors that I do with the Pro Acryl metal medium. I have 2 or 3 bottles of self-mixed paint there, and Marco Frisoni. This guy is so amazing. He has some recipes for mixing your own metal contrast paints with exactly these metal colors, and that is something. If you want to try new stuff and be amazed how all those things go together, I really suggest watching his videos.
It's also one of one thing that I've learned from Marco was that when you spray white ink. I have actually gotten a lot of questions for this when I post like pictures that I've just done a Zenithalon. Like,
yeah,
there's not that much speckling. How do you get rid of the speckling? And I saw Marco do it in one of the videos, and ever since then the problem was solved. So what he did was like white ink, a drop of glaze medium, and a drop of matte varnish. And it's gone. It's super smooth. So
yeah, that is good to know. I had some issues. I never had issues when doing a Zenithal, but I used some white ink for a piece that I painted, and you can really see the it looks like a grainy filter, and that is that is from the white ink. And another way to prevent this is to use really high pressure, like 50 psi, and dial down your airbrush to a real small amount of paint that you can pull back your trigger on, and then get pretty close. So you have to get used to this, because if you do this wrong, there will be spider webbing, and if you do it right, it will be buttery smooth. But I will try the what was it, matte medium or matte varnish?
It's a glaze medium and matte, aka what he uses is this one.
All right.
It's ultra matte varnish, and it's what he swears about, and it's I think it's the best varnish that I've tried. At least it's perfect.
Okay, matte varnish, glaze medium, and
and then
white
ink. White ink. Yeah.
So
and you have to try out the dilution, but I think I'm tending to go like with kind of like 3 drops ink and like one medium, 1 varnish, like something like that.
That is cool, because I will just grab one of my spare bottles right here and put it right on my desk in front of me to remind me to use this wonderful glaze medium. Where is my glaze medium? There's my glaze medium. And I will grab my matte varnish and my white ink, and I will make a mixture and test it later on. I really want to do this because it could be much smoother for my OSL effects. My Zenithals are fine, but my OSL really lagged, and I need to do this.
Yeah, and then of course it's like you said, it's also being able to distance yourself correctly with the airbrush, and not pressing down, but small spurts.
Yeah. And less is more. I had the Evolution, or still have the Evolution from Harder and Steenbeck, and it doesn't have the dial thingy that Infinity has.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I did on my. Let me grab it right here. The first thing I did was there's the camera. I added this blocker thingy, so I don't have to. So I can't pull it that far away, and that is also it's blocked at the moment. Yeah, sometimes paint gets in there, and also if you have gun oil at home, gun oil is perfect for airbrushes, and it's pretty cheap.
I don't have gun oil, so I have to get that.
Yeah, you can get like the small pots for 2 or 3 or 4 euros, and then you just dip your finger on top and pull your needle through your fingers. There's just like half a drop of oil on there. It will last you 2 lifetimes.
Nice.
The second thing, while we are looking at our at the airbrush right now, I didn't know this existed until Emil got out his airbrush. There's actually a pressure control knob that you can put on the bottom of your airbrush. And since I got this, I never touched my compressor. I yanked my compressor up to 60 psi. So if I got a lot of oomph on my compressor, and then I just use my paper on my desk and stuff to find out the perfect pressure for the mix that I have, like mixing it up, testing live how my mix behaves, and I don't even look anymore at the pressure on my
Nice.
compressor. It's like just, oh, okay, this works, and then I leave it there and go on. Yes, it costs 5 drops of paints per test, but you always get it really, really right. So who cares?
Yeah. So, should we dive into oils and enamels?
Oh, that is your specialty, I think.
Yes.
I am not that well equipped in that area.
Okay, so we could just start with enamel paints. I think that's the most people should or often start out with. Like the one that everybody is talking about is, let's see where I have it. Seem to have misplaced it right now, but it's Streak and Grime. Oh, here we go. This one. Yeah. So it is really nice to start out with, just to get the hang of adding something and then removing it with the white spirits, just to see the effects of it and stopping the fear of that you're not ruining anything. It's really easy to get it off. I mean, you have a long time, and that's the main perk of using enamels and oils. So people tend to look at those like it's a bad thing, and that's the wrong way to look at it. Really, you should just figure out what you want to do and how to use it correctly for your needs. And yeah.
Short shout out. Look on Instagram for Just Makes Stuff. All words.
Yeah, Justin.
Justin is an amazing guy, and he swears by using Streak and Grime. One of his paint jobs, he just told me, basically used 3 colors and mixed them as I wanted them, and then used Streak and Grime. And the stuff he does with Streak and Grime looks so amazing. Also, I got this winter Streak and Grime because when I wanted to get this, I grabbed the wrong one from the shelf. This is just a darker version. Look at him. He's the Streak and Grime Pro. If something is not working out for me, I ask him, dude, my Streak and Grime is being stupid. What should I do? He knows the answer. Believe me.
Yeah. And it's really the thing with Streak and Grime and with all enamels or oils is that you could really make something coherent. So let's say that you have painted something with a lot of different colors, and you can just put that layer on and everything will just snap together. You have that like it's lived in its world. They have grime on them, and
Yeah.
and everything clicks sort of. If you use it the right way, but yeah, it's nice. I don't really think it's enamels, but I should just show it since we're on white spirit stuff. It's still an acrylic paint, but it has to be thinned with white spirit.
Okay.
So this is Emil swears by it also. This is the best freaking gold that you can find out there.
It's just the powder stuff.
Yeah, this is Vallejo liquid gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
smells
has
like
to be-
shit.
yeah, it smells like shit, and if you leave it for like a month, let's say, you will actually find like gold bits in here. It really hardens. And the first time I saw this was Vince Venturella made an amazing like tutorial of golds. He showed his wedding ring and he painted like his finger, I think, in different golds. Like under a lamp, like showing the reflections, and this stuff actually looked like the ring. It really,
Oh shit.
yeah, it picked up the same reflections and everything like that. So
Nice.
it's really nice. So if you do have the white spirit, I would suggest picking up a bottle. It's really nice.
God damn it! I need to buy this gold now.
Yeah. Okay, so then we go in with oils then. Do you have anything before we start oil time? Have anything to
Yep.
add?
Yep. So if you want streaking grime, but you also want the old metal look, there's rust streaks that you can also use like streaking grime and cover the stuff completely. And this is for when it should look grimy. But sometimes you want to have a pristine, nice and clean look, but still separate stuff from each other. Then this stuff is pure magic.
Yes.
It's basically cheating. It's cheated blacklining.
Yeah. If you do have that one, you you don't always have to like wash. You could just do a pin line, and it will solve a lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so oils then. I had falling into oils when I found James Wapple.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. So what people call his following is the linseed brotherhood, like in linseed oil, and he is a true artist, I think. His style is unique. It's not for like everybody. He doesn't paint the heavy metal style, that's for sure. It's like more artsy, and it shows that he is using a different medium, I think. But the thing that he can pull off, it's amazing, and he is kind of the master of the OSL, I think. Being like, he could paint. You should, if you haven't, you should like watch his stuff that he painted recently for like I think it was Lord of the Rings stuff. He has some amazing OSL stuff there. He really have the feel of where to place the light and the shadows, and playing with all of that. So I started up like most of people, I think, just buying a regular like Winton Newton set, just doing some washes and figuring that stuff out. And then when I went back in and decided to, okay, I'll paint a miniature using only oils. And that's when I realized that it is really possible, and you can really pull off some amazing things, like buttery smooth blends, really easy, It's another medium, and it's not like with acrylics that when you layer it on top. Here you will have to have like you will have to think beforehand, because everything will mix together.
Yeah.
So you have to leave room for the lighter colors and plan your progression in advance. And then again, it's so easy to add the variation of colors. So a rule of thumb that James Wapple has is that if a color goes somewhere, it should go everywhere. So if he adds a color like on a sword or something like the character holds, he will go around the whole model and just put it in subtle ways, just to make it feel like it belongs.
Yeah.
And it pulls everything together so nice. So, do you have a Winton set? Do you have is that what you have?
I have the small tubes, and they are not metal; they are plastic. 12 milliliters, but the set was like, I don't know, 24 or more colors, and that's why I went to get them. It's like a lot of paints. I don't know how much, but I think it's 20 or 24, and because I use them in a different way. I don't use them to paint the full model. I use them for the finishing touches. For blends, I don't like. For some parts that are left blank with acrylics, because I knew this small thing would be tricky to blend, and I wanted blended really nice, so I will do this small part just in oils. But what you said about 3D printing earlier, that you were like kind of afraid of 3D printing because it's messy and not the way you used to do stuff. That's what I had with oils first, and then I saw Marco do it, and it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Exactly. But I don't use the Winton stuff for washes. For washes, I got some sets of Abteilung 502. Nice.
Yeah, I do too.
They are perfect for washes. I don't use them for painting directly. I use them just for washes.
Yeah. So I do have some Abteilung too. As you say, they're good for washes. They tend to, when you paint with them, they tend to dry a little bit faster, because they're meant for miniatures. And painting with oils, you don't always want that. So that's something to have to take into consideration. And also, when I was done with Winton and when I've tried this stuff, I picked up what people were swearing about, and that was artist colors. So this is still Winsor Newton, but this is artist colors, so it's much more pigment rich, and it's also not that the flakes that you can have in the Winton colors. You could like I think people tend to when they try out oil washes, sometimes they can like find residue on their places where they put the wash and something like that. They can just find small flakes, and that's because it's a cheap color, really. And if you go up a step and buy the artist colors, then you'll have a much better experience. They do cost more, so you have to take that into consideration also. But this is like the exact same step with like Camera. Like if you want to mix, if you want to have like pure pigment stuff, it's amazing. And like there are a few colors that James Wapple swears by, and like even ever since I got this one, Indigo, this is the best freaking wash for like steel that you can find.
Cool.
It's blue, dark blue, and like steel or like moonlight. It's the go-to. It's amazing. And then there is Terra Rosa. Like if you do like anything like if you want like red sand or rust or stuff like that too. But the one see if I have it here. There is a color called Egyptian Violet also. It's also I don't think I have it here. It's extremely expensive, but it's also like one of those go-to for James Wapple, and that's the thing with oils, that like if you get one tube, it will last you forever.
Yeah.
You won't ever have to buy it again. It would never grow old on you like acrylics might. But then again, like one tube could cost like a whole set of something else.
Yeah.
So because the pigments are rare.
Also, sometimes in oils there can be pigments that are potentially hazardous. Is that true?
Yes. Don't lick your brush.
Even from the white spirit, this sucks. But I know that in oil paints they still use pigments that could be hazardous. So I would advise to ventilate your room and wear gloves when you work with oils.
It's mostly the red ones, the cadmium ones, that you should be careful about.
Yeah. But even the odorless white spirit is bad for you. You should always ventilate your room when you work with this stuff.
Of course. And that's what I work with oils. I have lots of different colors, but those are the brands. And lastly, the one that I spoke about in my video is that I actually made my own oils as following a tutorial that James Wapple put out, and this is.
I'm excited.
This is some of the bottles. So what you did is this is linseed oil.
Okay.
I bought like I can show you here.
Just special linseed oil or stuff from the supermarket?
No, normal linseed oil, but this is like it's from Del Rowney.
Okay, so nothing you would put on your salad.
No. So this is the binder. I think this is like I mix my own paint, so it's binder, and it's thinner.
Yeah.
And for pigments in this case, I went with the fluorescent pigments from Green Stuff World.
Ooh.
So this is fluorescent oil paints.
I need to do this.
Yeah, so what you get is it's kind of hard to mix it. Of course, it will be like a mush or like a goo. Yeah. And you have to thin it, and with time it settles. So you have to thin it again, and then there is always good to have your vortex mixer ready. But the stuff you can do with it, I mean, what you do have, like, if you buy the whole set of pigments, you do have like a great, like I showed you in my video, you have a great coloration for doing like an OSL flame in OSL colors. You can do easy gradients with fluorescent colors. So you can go from a fluorescent red to a fluorescent yellow with the orange in between and do great gradients. And you have pop all over the place. And together with like, if you do a really, really deep shadow that you get with oils, that's what you got in the video that I made. You get that insane pop.
I have a stupid idea now. So
yeah, shoot.
You seem to have stuff left over for your fluorescent oil paints, right?
Yeah.
And I have something that you like. Should we maybe exchange stuff? Switch the magic switcheroo?
Yeah. We could work something out.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I could add some of those amazingly well-crafted German sweets.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we talk about it off camera.
Yeah. Also, a thing that's really nice about it that I didn't think about first place was that I did a plague drone for Nurgle some time ago, and I thinned it down so it was like a pin wash, so it was really thin, and I had this runic base that I've done with rolling pin, and I just pinned the glyphs so it was glowing. And
that sounds so good.
It was so nice. It was so easy. I just thinned it down, pinned it, and it was done. And
I need this. I need it now.
That's oils, I think.
So I grabbed a few that we could just go over really quick, and that's first of all, cheap craft paint.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, except you wanna build big terrain.
Yeah.
If you wanna do big rock mountain sides, or if you're doing a board and you need to dry brush all the sandy stuff, cheap craft paint is more than enough for that.
Yeah, get it on there.
But don't put it on your miniature. Something I really want to get, and there's a new artist store opening up in our town, and when it opens I will go there and get it, and that's the heavy body titanium white from Schmincke. Yes, I want this.
I can swear by it. It's amazing. It's the best white, hands down. Of course, it's heavy body, so you have to work with that. But it's the final highlight. You can never ever have a better final highlight.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we talked about speed paints and army painter in general. I wanna. Oh yeah, there's the new Duncan paints, and I don't know. I haven't seen them in action. I saw a video about them. I have been told they are quite okay, but they're really expensive. I opted out of the Kickstarter because I said I have too much stuff already. I don't think I'm missing out, but it could be a solid option for someone who's starting miniature painting.
Yes, I think that's the. I don't think maybe we are the goal audience because it's the main appeal for those colors is it's the same as with the Citadel. You have like it's hard. It's wrong to say paint by numbers, but it's built in the way that you have base, layer, highlight.
Yeah,
you should go that way, and I want to learn and do other stuff. I don't fancy going in that direction. I'm more like leaning towards craft world studio stuff, like crazy undershading, weird colors with that's what I'm aiming at. We'll see.
There are two things I want to skip because we're already 2 hours in. I want to skip all the mediums. I think mediums could be a separate episode because there's really interesting stuff out there. You can do a lot of stuff with. So mediums and varnishes could be a combined new episode. And I want to make my transition to the hobby cheats really, really short. But I used a technique for my terrain where I used several different undercoats and several different methods to shade it. And I wanted to go into detail with this when we have hadn't used like 2 hours before, and now I
Yeah.
will make a video about it. And I just want to say, you can't overdo terrain, and you can't overdo your miniature layering up different colors, because if you use them really thin, you can blend stuff together underneath a second layer of a different color, and it will get you some really nice tonal variations. And this may sound stupid what I'm saying now, but I will show you in my video where I did this on the terrain. And this was a real eye-opener for me, how well undershading, or how well different tones underneath the real color work out. So that is my cheated version of my barely legal. But I want to take the last few minutes to talk about the miniatures that we found. Yeah, and you said you had something. Was it posted on our Discord? Shameless plug. We have a Discord. You should join. I will post a link in the description. Have I said you should join the Discord and maybe join the Discord? What were we talking about? You were talking about a miniature you found. Join the Discord.
Come hang out. Yeah. So yeah. Actually, the one I wanted to plug and talk about was one that was posted on the Discord. It's not actually finished right now, but I do know that you know what I'm talking about. It's by a dude called Oscar Haegr, Haegr Blood Bones. He's I don't know how far along in his journey he is, but he is trying out some NMM on a small goblin dude, and he's doing an amazing job at it. It's looking really good, and
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, and also I really like when people like take those small miniatures and pour that much time and effort in it. I mean, it shows not only on the NMM but in the face of the goblin as well. The little dude has so much character. And yeah, he's doing an amazing job at it. I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's done. And
yep.
I think he deserved a plug for sure.
He deserves this plug so much. I mean, I have it right here, and I'm going through the chat a bit and scrolling back a bit, and every time he posted the VIP, it was like, "What the funk are you doing there?"
Yeah.
It is amazing. It is
for sure.
Absolutely amazing. But now I am too stupid to find the one I was going to plug. So the one I was thinking about, let me search for the guy. The one I was talking about is from Bchromatic.
Is it the bust?
No, it's not the bust.
Could you describe it to me? I think I know.
It has a big cloak.
Hey dude, where did you post it? You should post it in the.
So I don't know how this mini is called, because I'm not that deep into Warhammer, but I think it's called Morgan.
Okay.
And yeah, he did an amazing job of it. He did some NMM on the scythe, and the purple cloak really turned out so well. Let me hold up the picture where he just showed the front.
Oh yeah. That was really nice.
I
Yes.
was following his paint job in the VIP section so closely, and I've known him for a while from a different server, and I had some nice chats with him and invited him over to our server, and he's really blowing up painting wise. He's so invested in this right now, and it is just a real joy to watch him. And he described himself as a painting Kakashi, because he's like a copycat painter. He sees the technique and then he does it. He pulls out his Sharingan and then he copies the paint job.
Nice.
But I think he's much more than that. I think he's way more talented than he thinks, and I was really enjoying following him along. A real great dude also. And if you want to get to know him and ask him about his paint shop, where could you join?
There's a Discord.
Oh, there's a Discord. Amazing. Where can I find the link to the Discord?
Down below.
Oh, damn, dude. So, I think we dragged this painting stuff real far along.
Yes, we did.
We talked about some nice miniatures we saw, and I only have one final verdict for this episode.
Can I guess what it is?
Yes.
We have too many paints.
Yeah, it's even a step further.
Okay.
We are really stupid and buy too many paints, or bought too many paints, and we have too many paints, and we will still buy more paints, which will automatically make us more stupid.
Yes.
So don't be like us. Don't buy so much paints.
For sure.
All right. You got anything more to add to this?
I don't think so. I think we covered all the paints, really. So and
Covered all the
a
paints.
lot more than a lot more than that. So hopefully people got something out of it, and that we had something interesting to say that people didn't know, really.
Something more than thinking that we're stupid. You mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speech impediments and English and all that.
Yeah. If you power through this, guys, you're a real champion. You deserved your break from stupid Europeans trying to talk English and chatting about tow soldiers. And thank you for listening, and we hope we could bring some joy and some company into your hobby life. If you want to support us at no cost, please consider telling your friends about us or giving us a rating on the platform you're listening to this or you're watching this. Also, subbing is a great way to help us out, preferably on every platform you know. If you want to support us with your hard-earned cash, there will be a Teespring and with our logo for shirts and stuff and coffee mugs and whatnot. But I'm still building that up. But there will be a Patreon as well. I finished that. I will link it in the description. We will add some perks for Patreons, but we will never ever hide any content behind a paywall. You will get like voting rights and stuff, but we will never hide any content behind a paywall. So any way you want to help us out is greatly appreciated. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode of
PaintWater Soup.
Have a good one, guys.
With
Bye-bye.
Peter and the beer. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.